What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the August boxing schedule. I apologize that it's already August 7th, but the first weekend really didn't provide much, and I'm sorry, guys. You know, if you know me by now, you know that I think Jake Paul and Nate Diaz is an absolute joke and that's not real boxing in my opinion. So that doesn't, I wouldn't consider that as part of my stuff unless there was legitimate boxing on the undercard, like when I think it was Logan Paul earlier this year in February. It could have been Jake, I don't know, fought, and Badu Jack was on the undercard. But all that being said, let's get into what we have coming up in the month of August, the rest of the month of August. We start with August 12th is loaded, probably the most loaded weekend of all in in the month, as 3 fight cards come your way, starting with maybe the best one, the ESPN card, which is headlined by Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. Now on the undercard first, you got a guy named I think it's Richard Torres Jr. It's taking on some guy named Willie Jake in a heavyweight contest. Richard Torres was an Olympian, so he's a heavyweight. 6-round action will open the card. Then Raymond Muratalla, fresh off of his dominant knockout victory over, God, what was his name? Jesus. I forget the guy's name that he defeated earlier this year, the African fighter that he knocked out in 2 rounds. But he's fresh off the biggest win of his career, and he's going to be taking on Diego Torres, an unbeaten proven fighter here at lightweight. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing Raymond Muratalla back in action after that victory earlier this year, as he continues to try to build on it. That should be good. That's the co-feature. And then in the main event, though, an all-out war is about to break out, as Emmanuel Navarrete, the 130-pound WBO super featherweight champion of the world, defends his title against former 2-division world champion Oscar Valdez. Big-time Mexican showdown right here between these two. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to it. If I had to pick, I'm probably, I'm not going to give my prediction. I'll do that on a separate video, so make sure you're checking that out. But yeah, again, that's going to be really big, really good on August 12th in the main event of ESPN. So make sure you check that one out. Navarrete, Valdez, Muratalla, and Torres Jr. against Jake, all on ESPN. Also on August 12th, from DAZN, a card that was supposed to be headlined by Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte in their heavyweight rematch. Dillian Whyte the fight was just canceled due to Dillian Whyte testing positive for some banned substance. Now, we've heard that Anthony Joshua is scrambling to try to find an opponent, but we're not sure if that's going to happen. Maybe he'll fight at a later date. Maybe they can clear up Dillian Whyte's positive drug test and the fight can go forward. We don't know as of right now, but right now it's looking like the fight is off, but they might be trying to find Joshua a replacement. But the card is going forward, and if it does without Anthony Joshua, then undefeated #1 ranked contender, heavyweight contender Filip Hrgović returns to take on undefeated Dennis McKeon, as Hrgović stays busy ahead of a mandatory title fight that he has due sometime soon. We don't know exactly when, but he does have a mandatory title fight due, and Hrgović returning and staying busy is a good thing. And then also an interesting fight on the undercard, 2 veteran former world title challengers at heavyweight. Derek Chisora, the consummate gatekeeper of the heavyweight division, is taking on former world title challenger Gerald Washington. That should be an interesting one. There was also, a thing that said Chisora and Joshua would make sense. Chisora could step in for Joshua. So we're really waiting to see, but it looks like a night of all heavyweight action on DAZN. Make sure you check it out this Saturday. That'll actually precede, because it was supposed to take place, I think it was taking place in the United Kingdom. It's going to precede the ESPN and Showtime cards. So make sure you're checking that out earlier on in the day, that heavyweight action. But also on August 12th on Showtime, Emmanuel Rodriguez is fighting for the vacant, I think it is a flyweight title or super flyweight title. It might even be a bantamweight title, as he takes on Melvin Lopez in the main event of a Showtime card. Also, Gary Antoine Russell is taking on Kent Cruz, an unbeaten fighter at 140, as Russell returns to action. And then Trayvon Marshall, a prospect on the rise, is in the welterweight division, is taking on former two-time Olympian Gabriel Maestre, who's an undefeated welterweight on the rise. That'll open the card. So Showtime should be interesting, should be decent. August 12th, a lot of action going on that day, and it should be good. Now, other fights that were supposed to happen, August 19th, Beterbiev and Callum Smith were supposed to fight on ESPN. That got scratched. Beterbiev got some kind of infection in his mouth, so the fight got postponed. We don't know when it's going to be rescheduled. On August 18th, it's on TNT Sports, so I'm not sure where you can get that or order it. But there is McKeon versus Ionut Baluta in a super bantamweight fight. So that would be interesting. That's on a Friday. But again, I have not heard anything if that's going to be straight up U.S. television or if that's TNT Sports. I know they're making a big push in the UK, but I'm not quite sure on that one. So just kind of pay attention. August 26th, I am going to throw one out there on DAZN. Oscar Collazo is fighting for the shit. I forget. I think it might be the minimum weight title, way low down. I know he's an undefeated guy on the rise, but that's all I really know about that. But that's on the 26th. But it's all heavyweights other than that on the 26th. First on ESPN Plus, you're gonna have Alexander Usyk defending his unified heavyweight championship of the world against WBA regular champion Daniel Dubois of the UK, as they're fighting out in Poland. That's going to be a big fight. As of right now, I just know that the main event's going to be viewed on ESPN Plus. I haven't heard anything else, but that's enough. That's a big fight. That'll take place earlier in the day. And then on ESPN, you got a card taking place, heavyweight action in the co-feature in the main event. The main event sees Jared Anderson, the real big baby, undefeated, taking on the guy he was supposed to fight back in June, I believe, and that's Andre Rudenko, undefeated contender on the rise. And then in the co-feature, Efe Ajagba, the Nigerian heavyweight contender, is taking on some guy named Zan Kasobutski. So heavyweight action is big in the month of August. The biggest fight, I believe, in the month of August, right now looking at it, it's got to be Usyk and Dubois for the unified heavyweight title, but don't count out Navarrete and Valdez. That's going to be good too this weekend for the WBO super featherweight title at 130. So that's it. That's what I got. That's my August boxing schedule. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. If you don't like what I'm doing, you could always give me a thumbs down, leave a comment letting me know why. But I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I build my channel up here. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.